All right, high rollers, can you feel it? There is something big developing in the world of women's darts. There is change afoot. With the BDO, the organization that hosts the Women's World Championship, struggling on leadership and direction, and with the PDC reserving 2 spots for women this year at the Alley Pally, some of the game's best female players have decided to go for it. And why not? Our guest today is one of them. Currently ranked number 1 in the world by the BDO. She is the reigning Windmill World Masters champion. She's won tournaments all over the world and is sponsored by one of the industry leaders, Target Darts. Lorraine Winstanley, our guest today. Lorraine, welcome to the show. Thanks for being our high roller today.
Hi, thanks for having me on.
This is big news, right? I feel it's a moment in time we'll look back on one day and say, that's when women's darts really took off. Before we talk about how all this came to be, those 2 spots at Alexandra Palace, they're much coveted, right? Got to be pure gold if you manage to get one of them.
Oh, it's going to be such a hard job qualifying for one of those slots, and fair play to the 2 people that get through. They will have worked hard for it, but we're all after a piece of the action.
Absolutely. Great action indeed. Okay, so a week ago, the PDC announced details on the 2 women's qualifiers for the William Hill World Championship, a UK-Ireland qualifier and a rest of the world qualifier, both in November. Then we got a tweet earlier this week from ladies legend Dita Hedman. Entry in, she said, hope many others follow and showcase ladies darts, #Milton Keynes. Now that tweet seemed to open the floodgates. You've decided to play, many others as well. Talk about that decision.
To me, it was a no-brainer. This has got to be such a positive step in the, step forward for ladies darts. These opportunities don't come up very often. And I'd only really just started playing when Barry Hearn did the last Ladies World Championship. My goal at the time was to get picked for the England team. I wasn't quite there, but I was on the edge. And I chose not to enter that then because I thought that might jeopardise my chances of playing for England. In hindsight, I don't think it would have made any difference, but I didn't get the answers that I was looking for. I didn't get an answer, so I didn't dare enter. And now I just think, do you know what? He's put it on the table. We've got to take him up on the offer.
You have to go for this. I mean, we're going to talk about the BDO, the situation there in a second, but you mentioned it. It's going to be so tough to win one of these spots. In terms of turnout, what are you expecting come November? It's free to play, right? Anyone over 16. So, I mean, anyone who thinks they're in with a shout is going to try to shout, right?
Do you know what? Even if you don't think you're in with a shout, get your entry in. We're looking for great support. Like I say, these opportunities don't come along very often. We don't know what's going to come on the back of this. It may be a one-hit wonder. It may be a case of if there's plenty of entries in and plenty of response, then you never know. Something may come on the back of it. You know, we can hope for a ladies' tour. It may happen, it may not. But if we don't get the support, then nothing is going to happen. Because we don't know, we've got nothing to lose.
I'll tell you what, I'm in Canada, and my view of Barry Hearn is that this guy's some kind of genius. I mean, look what he's done. So if you can get in with him, you got to go for it. One more thing about this qualifier in November, it's a non-seeded open draw format. That makes it tough too, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course it does. People have different opinions on seedings. When I wasn't a seed, I didn't agree with it. Now I'm a seed, I do agree with it. But yeah, it's an open draw. So there are bound to be some really tasty games on offer. So, we're all just in it to win it. You've got to be in it to win it. I just hope that we all play to the best of our ability and give it a really good shot.
Absolutely. There's so much anticipation for that. I really hope it's televised. That would add to the drama. Now let's talk about the BDO. Yeah, let's talk about the BDO. Tough times, uncertainty. An organization with a long history, so many great players, legends, and it's given us so much sporting drama over the years, both men and women, especially at the lakeside. So with the state of the BDO right now, where are your emotions at?
Do you know what? I've got real mixed emotions because I don't know any different. I've not been in a position to do the Challenge Tour or to play the PDC at all. So the BDO is darts for me. So it is real mixed emotions. The frustrating thing I find is the lack of information going forward. You know, we're nearly at the end of the 2018 season. little things like we haven't got a 2019 calendar out. The season starts at the beginning of October. So with the view of that, and obviously with the unrest, with Sue stepping down as chairperson, we didn't know who was going to take over. I personally haven't booked anything beyond the end of this season because I didn't want to book up and then it all fall to pieces. I'm pretty sure it isn't going to fall to pieces. And we've got to give positive vibes to the new board. It's not a job I would like. And we've got to give them time as well. You can't just change the world in 10 days or 11 days, however long that they've been in position. But we would like some information. You know, the Win Mao is only around the corner. We've had confirmation that it's going ahead. But again, is it going to be seeded? Is it not going to be seeded? Because that makes a difference on the days that you play. So booking accommodation up front is really difficult. And then going on to the World Championship, there's no venue confirmed, there's no sponsor confirmed, there's no TV confirmed. So normally the tickets are on sale by now. And it's just that uncertainty that we just don't know. So it's real mixed emotions, I think.
Yeah, it's got to be mixed emotions. A long, great history of the BDO, but a lot of uncertainty right now, as you mentioned. I mean, the question, if you play the PDC qualifier, will you be allowed to play at the Lakeside? Has that even been answered?
It's not been answered as yet. And we've put our entries in on the back of not knowing. So I think, to me, that speaks volumes that we don't have a clue. But we're, like I said before, we're in it to win it. And for those two that get through, the publicity that is going to surround those two slots is going to be massive. It's a money can't buy experience, I think. We've got to try and go for it.
You have to. It's pure gold if you get one of those spots, let alone beat someone in the opening round. That's even more publicity. The hype has already begun. Your sponsor at Target Darts posted this. Confirmed, Target's reigning World Masters champ at Lorraine 180 will compete in the qualifier to try to get to the PDC World Championship. It then tweeted out a quote from you. I think this is a massive step forward for ladies darts. The standard, and I like this, the standard has risen to another level over the last few years. I'm excited at the prospect, especially considering we don't know what the future holds for the BDO. So, I mean, your sponsor's hyping it. A lot of people are talking about this on social media. It's already begun. It's already a positive.
Absolutely. And it was really funny because I got a text message off Fallon Sherrick the other day. She said, I'm loving all this retweeting. I'm actually feeling famous. Because she's been tagged in a lot of the things, you know, and it's great publicity and it has gone through the roof. Can't believe it, really. I'm not surprised that people are that interested, but it's given a new buzz and I'm buzzing for it as well. You know, it just gives you that little bit of excitement. It's something that we know is going to happen that we can look forward to.
Lots of buzz and excitement. Now listen to me here for a second. Theoretically, this sets up the possibility for an all-women's final at the Ali Pali. Now, wouldn't that be something? I mean, but even still, I gotta feel the first time a woman knocks out a man could happen this year. It's going to make major headlines.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Just being there is major headlines. But yeah, to get through that first round, and who knows, when you win one, you build confidence. You just never know what can happen. Well,
you used the word massive. It feels like a huge moment for women's darts. 2 spots reserved at the Ali Pali. You look at the way the PDC has exploded over the past few years. Big crowds, big prize pools, and quite simply, big-time darts. I mean, it's amazing nowadays, the averages. Where do you see this going? Do you see it being women against men for the next few years? Or, as you mentioned earlier, one day in the future, a women's tour, a women's world championship, with prize pools to really gun for?
I don't know which way it's going to go, to be honest. Obviously, hoping for a women's tour, that would be brilliant. If it is a one-hit wonder, then we'll take it while it's there. It's just so exciting. But we know Mr. Hearn is a businessman and he does things to make money. So that's why I said before, we need to support this. He's not making any money out of the qualifiers because it's free to enter. But he may just be testing the water to see what interest there is. So if he can make money out of anything, that is the way, you know, he will work. But we're just giving it a shot for the girls and let's just hope for the best.
I saw this exchange on Twitter the other day. PDC Pro Richard North tweeting out, "My wife is in this, so watch out, you top 8 women. There's a new woman in town. Should be good. Can't wait to come and watch." Commentator Dan Dawson responded, "I'm really looking forward to North v. North in the first round, then interviewing you both together when she annihilates you." Northie said she beat Luke Humphries at a comp a few weeks ago. Luke Humphries chimed in saying, "She did something you can't do, Richard. Beat me." I mean, the banter's there. The hype's already begun. This is going to be good.
And it's only going to get better. The closer we get, I'm sure it is only going to get better.
Now, I mentioned the possibility of an all-women's final at the Ali Pali. Darts, to me, seems like a game of arm action, practice, and mental strength. So I say, why not? I know the women's game is great right now. It's getting better fast, too, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, like I said before, the standard has risen so much over the last few years because everybody's had to raise their game. The games are getting so much harder to win that you've got to put that practice in. You've got to find that fight. Yeah, it's just getting harder and harder, which is making the games better and better. And
you look at what's happening with the youth dart leagues and the academies now with young girls with something to shoot for. I mean, the sky's the limit.
Yeah, absolutely. It gives that great stepping stone with the youth academies popping up everywhere. Really, there's no excuse if for the youngsters that want to play. I'm sure there's an academy somewhere near them that they can get involved with. It's not just a social thing. It's brilliant for the maths, but yeah, it is a great social thing. And I think especially for the girls, it gives them something that they can do. And me personally, I like playing men. I like playing against men. I can seem to find a different fight against them. It's a totally different game to playing a woman. So for the young girls, it can be very empowering, and that's what we like.
I can't wait for this. I want to talk about the Windmill World Masters in 1 second, but real quick on Dita Hedman. I mean, there's a camaraderie in the women's game today. She's a ladies' legend. She's a great ambassador, right?
Absolutely, yeah. She certainly is.
She's been around for quite some time, so she got the ball rolling on this. It's going to be great to see. Okay, the Women's Windmill World Masters, that was quite something, a major, major victory. I watched it. It was great to watch. The culmination of a lot of hard work for you, I'm sure. What was that whole experience like for you, and what's it been like this whole year just celebrating that major win?
It's been amazing. I had such a brilliant season. And again, like I said earlier, it's winning one that rolls on to the next. I'd gone into the World Masters on the back of winning the England Classic and the England Match Play and the Swedish Open. So it was just like a rolling stone. It just snowballed, which was brilliant. So I went into that tournament full of confidence, and I played well, and I got the prize at the end of it. It's just been an amazing year. And to top it off, to get to world number 1 as well, it's another box ticked, but my boxes aren't all ticked just yet.
I'll tell you what, great trophy to win. It's such an appealing looking trophy. One of the nicest trophies in sports, really, the Windmill World Masters. I saw an interview.
It was the heaviest trophy I've ever picked up.
It's quite a piece of hardware. I watched an interview with you on YouTube, Tungsten Tales. You were asked how the win at the World Masters compared with any other title, and you said, "It's the Windmill World Masters."
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Anything with a world in it sounds great.
Anything with a world. That's a great line.
Feels even better.
Anything with a world in it. I like it. And I can see this this December at the Ali Pali, okay? Listen to this. John McDonald gets set for the introductions, and over the loudspeakers, we hear Pharrell Williams, your walk-on song, Happy. How does that sound to you?
It sounds amazing. Absolutely amazing. Money can't buy that experience, but got to get through the qualifiers first. So we can't run before we can walk.
Well, good luck to you. I know your husband, Dean, your kids are excited for this, as are you. Women's world number 1, the World Masters champ. And if it all goes well at the qualifiers, set to make her debut at the Ali Pali. Good luck, Lorraine Winstanley. Thank you so much for being a high roller today. Really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much for inviting me on. I've enjoyed it. Thank you.